I was supposed to stay at my sister Sarah's cattle farm for 2 nights while she and her husband drove to Denver for their daughter's emergency surgery. It wasn't anything major, and I'd done it before, so I kinda knew the routine stuff. The farm sat about 8 miles outside of town with nothing but pasture and tree lines in every direction. There was only one gravel road in and out. Thankfully, Sarah had recently gotten security cameras installed after some equipment went missing from a neighbor's property the year before, so I wasn't worried. The first evening went exactly as planned. I fed the cattle around 6, locked the equipment shed, and let Ranger, their German Shepherd, roam the property like he always did. After dinner, I settled on the couch with a book and some country music humming low in the background. The night felt peaceful until suddenly nearly all the cattle started bawling. I checked the clock. It was 15 past midnight. I stood up and looked out the window toward the pasture, but everything was just shadows moving against the fence line. I pulled up the camera feed on my phone. The front pasture was the usual darkness and grass moving in the wind. I flipped through the screens, but everything looked perfect except for Ranger was missing from all the frames. I called for him. He always came when called, but this time he didn't. I called his name over and over, but he still didn't show up. After about 10 minutes, dread started to crawl up into my chest. Ranger didn't wander off. He was trained and knew this property better than I did. I grabbed a flashlight in my jacket and headed outside. The air was cold with wind cutting through the open pasture. I walked toward the barn, scanning for Ranger, expecting to find him cornered by a coyote or caught in some fence wire. Instead, I found the back pasture gate wide open and stopped dead in my tracks. I latched the gate myself 2 hours ago. I was certain. But standing there in the cold, doubt crept in. Maybe I'd rushed it. Maybe I hadn't pushed it all the way closed, and the wind had done the rest. I walked over and shut it properly this time, hooking the chain through twice. The cattle were still restless, moving in tight circles near the tree line. Something had spooked them. Back inside, I locked the door and sat down, trying to shake the feeling that something was off. I checked the camera feed again. The back pasture camera was working fine now. The front one showed nothing but an empty driveway, but I could hear the faint metal clanking coming from near the equipment shed. I went into Sarah's room and grabbed her old baseball bat from the corner of the closet. It felt stupid in my hands, but I took it anyway. I slid open the patio door and stepped outside. The wind had died down, and everything was too quiet now. Even the cattle had gone silent. But there was unmistakable movement from 2 directions at once. I could hear the crunch of footsteps in the grass to my left, and something scraping metal to my right. I crept closer to the edge and strained my ears to listen closely. There was a soft hum of an engine, stifling low whispers. I immediately dropped down behind the patio railing, heart pounding, and stayed still. From there, I could see the pasture near the tree line where 2 figures